This is the latest edition of our bi-weekly webinar series, Mastering Mosaic. My name is Mark Lennox. I'm the host of the webinar series. Today we are going to talk about all things Mosaic. So let's talk about the agenda real quick and what we're going to cover. The first thing that we're going to cover in this webinar are loan options overview. So what are the different loan products that Mosaic offers? What are some things that are unique to Freedom Forever? Then we will compare the different loan options, talk about the different features for each, and what are the ins and outs of those loans. We'll talk about the different credit outcomes, the importance of the welcome call, change orders, and we'll throw in some stuff about enrolling in the ACH payments. Then we'll spend some time talking about the different support resources that are available to keep things on track. Then I'm going to turn it over to Dustin and Adam to present their portion of this webinar about what should I sell. And then, like all of our webinars, we will host a Q&A session. So about halfway through this presentation, you'll see the option to start submitting questions. As questions occur to you, please make sure you submit them. And when we get to the Q&A session, we'll make sure we get all those questions answered. So to begin, what are the different loan options available? Let's have an overview of what is available to reps when they are going through the Mosaic process. So as we get started here, let's take a look at Mosaic in general and talk about our partnership. So Mosaic has always been all about being 100% clean energy for all. So their mission is to empower millions of people to prosper by creating the best way to finance clean energy. Mosaic was the company that created the industry first 20-year, 25-year, and 30-year solar loan products. The first battery-only loan, and was the first to offer a loan option with no payment for 18 months. Now, in terms of home improvement projects, Mosaic was among the first to create the 10 and 15-year deferred interest loan options with no payments for 12 months. So as Mosaic continues to grow, they never lose sight of that entrepreneurial spirit. The company embraces speed and flexibility, avoids bureaucracy, and remains laser focused on designing innovative financial products and enhancing its scalable point-of-sale technology platform. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about in terms of the different loan options are the Power Switch Choice and Power Switch Plus. So just to give you an idea, these are some of the highlights of both of these loans, and some of these highlights are very Freedom specific. So for instance, under the high pre-qualification amounts, loans up to $175K, that's very specific to Freedom Forever. That no FICO floor under high approval rate, that's very specific to Freedom Forever. So let's take a look at some of these different highlights. It's a soft credit check. It only does a 3-year bankruptcy look back. Low stipulations rate. We'll talk about the best-in-class support a little bit farther in the presentation. Again, I want to mention that high approval rate with the no FICO floor. It looks at household income. Debt to income may be considered, but there are allowed co-applicants on these loans. For Power Switch Choice and Plus, you can have loans for non-primary residences like second homes, vacation homes, or investment properties. And these products are integrated directly into Aurora. So let's take a look at the Power Switch Choice loan structure. So with this, it's anticipating the 30% ITC paydown. So you can see from the graph here, the monthly payment is adjusted at the 18-month reamortization date based on the amount that's paid down. So if there is an exactly 30% pay down, the monthly payments will stay the same. If there is less than a 30% pay down, there are higher monthly payments. If there is more than a 30% pay down, there are lower monthly payments. Now, in terms of the payment start date, it's the earlier of 3 months after the loan start or 15 days after permission to operate. Now let's take a look at the loan structure for the Power Switch Plus. You'll notice with the Power Switch Plus that there is no voluntary pay down. The monthly payments stay the same. If there is more than that 0% pay down after the 18-month reamortization date, it results in lower monthly payments. The Power Switch Plus loan is the kind of loan you would use if the homeowner cannot benefit from the income tax credit and they want the consistency of those monthly payments staying the same. Just like the Power Switch Choice, the payment start date for the Power Switch Plus is 3 months after the loan start or 15 days after permission to operate. Okay, so the third product we're going to talk about is the Power Switch Zero. So all of the stipulations you see on screen here are here because they are different from the Choice or Plus. So with the Power Switch Zero, it's important to remember that there is no payments or interest for the first 12 months. With this loan, there are multiple reamortizations at 12, 24, and 36 months, and it can be in 20 or 25 years. It does have a high pre-qualification amount, whereas the Choice and the Plus max out at 175, this one goes up to 135. But unlike the Choice and Plus loans, there is a high approval rate, but this does have a 640 FICO floor. It's based on individual income. Debt to income will be considered, and with the Power Switch Zero, co-applicants are not allowed. Power Switch Zero is also not transferable until after the 12-month promotional period ends. So that's the key differences between the Power Switch Zero and the Choice and Plus loans. Now, how does the Power Switch Zero loan structure work? Well, you can see that there's that zero promotional period for the first 12 months. No interest will be paid if the loan is paid off in full during that promo period. So no payments made during the promo period, and they have those higher monthly payments. If there are payments made during the promotional period, the monthly payments will be lower at the first reamortization date, and then the additional reamortizations at 24 and 36 months. So now that we've talked about those three, let's just get another top-level view of the differences between the Power Switch Zero, the Power Switch Choice, and the Power Switch Plus. So again, with the Power Switch Zero, you have no payments, no interest for the first 12 months. Max loan is 135. There is a FICO floor of 640. It's based on individual borrower income, and it's not transferable during that promotional period. It is eligible for the income tax credit, and it has 3 different reamortization points. Power Switch Choice, there is no promo period. The max loan is 175. There is no FICO floor. It's based on household income. It is fully transferable before PTO and fully funded, and it goes between 5 and 25 years. Also eligible for the income tax credit, and the reamortization is at the 18th month mark. The same thing applies for the Power Switch Plus. So you can see with the Power Switch Zero, it's ideal for homeowners who are unsure of their cash flow situation or on the fence about adding solar during uncertain times. With the Choice loan, it's ideal for homeowners looking to add solar panels or batteries to their home and take advantage of that solar tax credit. Power Switch Plus is ideal for homeowners looking to add solar panels and batteries, plus other energy efficient upgrades while ensuring a stable monthly payment for the life of the loan. So if you have any questions about those, we're going to open up the Q&A now, so you can start dropping your questions into our Q&A, and we'll get them at the Q&A session. All right, next up on the webinar is credit outcomes, welcome calls, change orders, and we'll also briefly touch on auto-enrolling in the ACH payment and what that does for the homeowner. So let's take a look at the 4 possible credit outcomes for a Mosaic loan. Number 1 is the loan is approved. And for Power Switch Choice and Plus accounts, the maximum approval amount is $175,000. For the Power Switch Zero, it's $135,000. Next option is a denial. The customer will immediately receive an email outlining the reason for the denial. Mosaic is unable to share the reason directly with sales representatives. Third option is credit decision is blocked. This happens in a limited number of cases where the customer has a hold or freeze on their credit. The customer will need to reach out to Equifax or Experian to lift that hold. Then they can call the customer service line at Mosaic to have them rerun the credit. The last option is a conditional approval. In a conditional approval, the customer receives an email that requests additional documentation such as proof of income or ID. Customer can upload those items through the secure link provided in that email or send them to the email address at freedomconnectuw@joinmosaic.com. Now let's talk about the Mosaic welcome call. The Mosaic welcome call reinforces your sale by confirming key loan details with the homeowner. The advantages of the welcome call are it ensures the customer has a clear understanding of how the loan operates, increases your credibility, and provides a recording of the call. Some of the topics that are discussed in the welcome call are the tax credit, choice target obligation, the first payment timing, and the payment method. Are they going with check or ACH auto pay? So I think one of the things that's important here is that when a customer calls in to do the welcome call, they are not coached, that they have a full understanding of the process prior to calling. It's much better to disconnect and not complete that welcome call in the event that the homeowner doesn't have a full understanding of the loan itself and then call back to complete that welcome call. No coaching should be heard on that call itself. So let's talk a little bit about change orders and loan differences and the key differences and tips. A change order can be run on a Mosaic loan prior to the first loan disbursement. Change orders, you can change the APR, the term, the price, or the loan product, like switching between plus or choice. Now, after that first loan is dispersed, you can only do a loan adjustment, meaning only the price can be changed. No other adjustments can be made after the first loan disbursement has been made. All right, let's take a look at auto pay enrollment. Throughout the checkout process and the signature process, the borrower will be able to enroll in auto pay after the loan documents have been signed. The benefit of enrolling in auto pay is to get that lowest possible APR, to get the discount, to have that monthly payment automatically deducted. If they don't, there's a slightly higher APR on the loan product itself. Okay, so let's talk a few minutes about support resources. A couple of things that we want to point out before going to the support line information is Mosaic's portal. At freedomforever.financing.joinmosaic.com, you can log in with your user credentials and see what opportunities have already been created in Aurora. There's also the option for a loan calculator with the different loan products that are available to you, and some Mosaic specific resources that you can work through in case you want to learn more about their portal and their website and some of the cheat sheets and guides they have included in their portal. Now let's go over to the Sales Resource Center and look at the Mosaic folder that's full of resources that you can use, as well as an archive of previous Mosaic rate cards. So once I'm in the Sales Resource Center in Lightspeed, I can go to Finance and Payment Options. From here, I can go to the Mosaic folder and I'll see different FAQs, the current rate card, and current promotions that Mosaic is running. So you can go to this folder and peruse through these different resources, as well as archived rate cards to see what dealer fees were on different loan products if you have to do change orders for loans that are already in process. So now let's kick it over to Mosaic's support page and talk about their best-in-class support. Mosaic has best-in-class customer support line. You can contact them at that number 855-558-6006 or email general questions at support@joinmosaic.com. The hours of operation are all Pacific time, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m., and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, we have two account managers for escalations, Dustin Wolf and Adam DeBow. They have joined us on this call, and now they are going to talk about the loan products and talk about which products to sell. So let's kick it over to them now.
Hi, all. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate your time and attention. So, as you know, Mosaic offers a full suite of products to accommodate a variety of customer needs. And one of the most common questions we get is around which loan should we sell? So, this slide gives you some ideas about how to identify the best product for your individual customer circumstances. The primary question we want to answer is whether the customer is more focused on upfront costs or total cost of ownership. From there, we want to begin to understand how important flexibility or stability is to the customer. Once we understand those two things, we can really hone in on the right product for a specific sale. As you can see here on the slide, lower total cost of ownership, you should be thinking about shorter loan terms, higher APRs, lower dealer fees, and earlier payoffs, and vice versa. If you're looking for lower upfront costs, look for those longer loan terms, the lower APR products that carry some higher dealer fees and potentially some promotional periods. We'll be happy to answer any questions about this in the Q&A as well.
Okay, we are going to get that Q&A started now, and we appreciate the questions that you have all submitted to our queue, where we can go through them and get some rolling. I'm going to take the first couple of them and address two of the questions right now that we've seen in the chat a couple of times. So the first question is from Michael, and it is, what are the difference in the dealer fees for the 3 loans? And then we have a question from August that says, may we get a copy of the Power Switch brochure for reference? So can this media doc be shared with the customer? I'll defer that part to Adam or Dustin, but I will tell you the sales facing documentation we are going to upload to the Sales Resource Center. So you'll be able to navigate directly to the finance and payment options and Mosaic folder, and you'll see the sales portion of this presentation. But also in reference to the dealer fees themselves, if you want to get a copy of the most recent rate card, it will be dated. So when you see the rate card, check the date. Any previous rate cards will be in the archive within that same folder. So if you do need to know the dealer fees for those different loan products at the current time, you can refer to that rate card. So I hope that answers your question, but we will be uploading those resources there shortly. So our next question is from Bethany, and it is, when does the FTC get applied to the Power Switch Plus loan? I'm going to go ahead and kick that over to Dustin to answer that.
So with our Power Switch Plus loan, we do not require homeowners to make that additional 30% payment in order to maintain their monthly payment throughout the life of the loan. If they choose to make a payment prior to month 18, prior to that reamortization, their monthly payment will go down following that reamortization. Hopefully that answers your question, Bethany.
Thanks, Dustin. We have a question coming in from Levi, and it is about the loan calculator. And the question is, they're currently having an error with the loan calculator not working. I'm going to kick that over to Adam.
Hey, Levi, thank you for your question. I just want to let you know, if anyone is having issues with the loan calculator in our portal, the best thing to do to resolve those issues is to clear your cache and cookies, log out, and then log back in, and those products should appear for you. We just launched this within the last few months, and there are some technical glitches that we are still working out. But if you do those steps that I just informed you on, you should be able to see all your products and not have any issues moving forward.
Thank you. And we have another question from Bethany in the chat, and it is,